Hurricane we saw had been shot down during the Battle of Britain. This one wasn't. The Hurricane you're looking at is a Battle of Britain veteran. Didn't crash, wasn't rebuilt, wasn't restored. It's pretty much as it was, which is quite a remarkable story. It was built by the Gloucester Company under licence down at their airfield factory down in Staverton. It was issued as number 605 County of Warwick Squadron at Drem in Scotland on the 17th of August 1940. The squadron moved south that month to RAF Croydon on the south side of London, and it completed 49 sorties, successfully shooting down 5 enemy aircraft during the Battle of Britain. It was damaged in battle on the 22nd of October. It was repaired and sent to Treble 1 Squadron at Dice in Aberdeenshire, January 41, for North Sea patrols. It became a training aircraft with 59 and 56 OTUs. And it actually suffered more damage in the training units than it did in combat. Somebody landed on a truck on the runway at Dice, which didn't do the Hurricane a lot of good at all. Somebody flew it into a snowbank alongside the runway. As I said, it had a rougher life as a training aircraft than it did in combat. It was dismantled, crated at Cardiff, and sent to India as a training aircraft. But it was never used in that role. It remained in its crate in Bombay until 1947, when it was donated to the Varanasi University for use as an engineering training airframe. And it was left outside in pieces now. That's where Peter Pasha found the aircraft in 1982. Forgot all about it, went home, and he was showing his friends the photographs one year, about 14 years later. And somebody said, "That's not a Spitfire, that's a Hurricane." Realising what he'd found, he started negotiations in 1996 to bring the aircraft back to the UK, which he successfully did in June 2001. 3 years later, on the 23rd of December, it flew for the first time post-restoration to flying condition. Peter Pasha owned the aircraft for many years, displaying it all over the country, before selling the aircraft to the man you see flying it here, James Brown, in 2015, who formed the company Hurricane Heritage at Duxford. It's now based there and at White Waltham. It is maintained by the Aircraft Restoration Company at Duxford. As I said, my favourite World War II fighter, tough as old boots, manoeuvrable enough. There were aircraft later in the war that were faster, better armed, but there were very few that could take the punishment this thing could. As I said, because of the limitations of the airframe, it essentially is a monoplane biplane. It's built in exactly the same construction techniques used on the earlier biplanes. You couldn't really develop the airframe that far. There were only 5 marks of Hurricane in total. Mark 1, of course, standard 8 303 machine guns. Mark 2, the A version had 8, and the B version had 12 303 machine guns, and it added bomb racks under the wings and new hard points in order to be able to carry out ground attack missions with 250-pound or 500-pound bombs. But what is little realised, it was the first RAF fighter, first RAF aircraft, to be fitted with the new RP rocket projectiles. Could carry 8 of them, 4 under each wing. Now, those are 4 60-pound rocket projectiles that gave a single-seat fighter the equivalent firepower to a broadside from a light cruiser. Mark Mark IIC had 4 20mm cannon, but my favourite version is the Mark IID. Only had 1 machine gun mounted in the wing, and that was fitted largely with tracer. And what you did was you lined up and you fired at your target with a machine gun only, with a button on the stick. You saw where the tracer went, you corrected your eye on, corrected your aim, and then you engaged the 2 40mm Vickers S guns that were in pods, one under each wing. The main use for this aircraft, particularly in the Western Desert with number 6 Squadron, is in the anti-tank role. There's a pair of 40mm. Well, that'll do a tank. The only problem is that when you fired them, if you fired more than 4 rounds, the aircraft slowed right down because of the recoil. And you got very close to the stall, so you have to be very careful how you use those guns. Number 6 Squadron, of course, changed their badge to a flying can opener because of their exploits with the Hurricane Mark IID in the Western Desert. Mark IV and a bigger engine, more armour plate. And the last production variant, the Mark V, was only produced in very, very small numbers as the war was over. The Royal Air Force were winding down. As I said, this aircraft held the line all over the world for the Royal Air Force. And as such, it is one of the aircraft that won us the war. It's certainly the aircraft that won the Battle of Britain.